My name is Brad Bernstein. I'm an immigration attorney.
I am David Squeeze Annakie, and obviously one of the hosts on the Brad and Squeeze show. I have a business that's called LinkUp Media, and it's been around since 1996, and decided to start a radio program.
And Mr. Annakie sold me some radio time and said I'm going to be on the radio with a guy by the name of Squeeze.
I didn't think it was going to evolve into a business.
And I went back every week on Friday night to see Squeeze. And every Wednesday, Mr. Annakie would call me and ask for money to pay for this advertising time.
Give him this deep corporate talk and talk to him about business. Had to separate the money from the personality, you know.
And it took about 2 months before I realized that Mr. Annakie and Squeeze was the same guy.
Next thing I know, I'm doing a radio show live from Jamaica to the United States.
When I first started on the radio, Squeeze kept saying, you know, I filed for my citizenship 5 times and he kept getting denied. And off the air, I was saying, let me do your citizenship, let me do your citizenship. And he goes, no, 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 I'm not interested. I had this other lawyer, he said he was the best lawyer, and didn't want me to handle it.
I was like, dude, I have actually attempted to do this multiple times, and it has failed me every time. I gave in after working with him for a while. A few months later, rather, I was in Hartford, Connecticut, getting sworn in.
Then Squeeze was sold on me. After that, I could do no wrong for immigration. And over 19 years, the show has kind of developed from a law show to a show about Brad's personality, Squeeze's personality, plus we're helping people, plus we're informing people, plus we're making people's lives better.
That's the reason why the show is really what it is. It is that because we are just ourselves.
Something very interesting happens when you work with somebody every day. You become their best friend.
And that's a fact. She has become, believe it or not, my best friend.
One day, Squeeze had a great idea when Facebook Live started, and his great idea was, I'm going to take out my phone and film our radio show.
The next thing, they're building a green room in his office.
And we are now turning our radio show into a broadcast show that is going to be seen live on Facebook, that's going to be seen live on YouTube. And oh, by the way, you're still going to hear our broadcast show on WVIP 93.5 FM.
It's phenomenal, and the most gratifying thing is that we're truly helping people. It's amazing walking through the airport and people come up and say, Brad and Squeeze, you guys are the greatest. If I could cry, tears would actually come out of my eyes right now. Just keep watching. That's a beautiful picture right there, that intro, man. Right here on 93.5 WVIP, and of course, social media.
Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
Where is your signature? Hello! I was waiting for you to say that.
I like saying hello. When Jill comes in, Patrice comes in.
But you say that even
Kim
like
comes in.
All day long. You've been saying that for like the last couple of weeks. It's kind of like starting
I'm
to
just pumped.
It's starting to become your moniker now.
Yeah,
it's not a moniker.
Yeah, moniker.
Moniker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like a new thing you've been doing lately.
It's lunchtime right now.
You've been doing this.
All right, let me back up. Let me start all over again. Everybody that's out there on the highways, the byway, the throughways, the parkway, the runway, the walkway.
The Galavans.
Everybody on Facebook sharing away on David Squeeze Annakie, sharing away at Brad H. Bernstein, sharing away at Law Officer Spar Bernstein, sharing away at YouTube Spar and Bernstein. Right now, I just want to say hello from the Brad and Squeeze Show, and we're ready to answer your immigration questions. My name is David Squeeze Annakie, so make sure you reach out to us to get Brad Bernstein, the attorney, to answer your questions. The number to call us now, and call quickly, because I wonder, are you surprised, folks, that the lines are getting jammed right now, seeing that we are reaching approximately 5,000 people live, and then by the end of the day,
between the two shows, we're averaging almost 30,000, sometimes more, sometimes a little less.
Across all the platforms.
Across all our platforms.
So you're talking about 30,000.
1.5 Madison Square Garden people are watching us.
No, you're talking about 30,000 people that we can actually prove that is actually watching us.
And by the way,
and listening to us on 93.5.
I went to see Guns N' Roses, Madison Square Garden. They were only 18,000.
There you go.
Okay.
So I think Brad and Squeeze is hotter.
Yeah. But you know, in their defense, 18,000 people stayed for 3 hours to watch them. People don't stay the whole hour to watch us. They turn on, they turn off.
Is it true that they had to wheel some of them on stage?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Are you a Guns N' Roses fan or not really? It's not really your thing, probably.
I mean, what? Because I'm black?
No, I don't.
What? You don't think black people listen to Guns N' Roses?
No, by the way, our video ended. I'm not sure why, but Kim should take a look at that. But
now you're going to technical.
Yeah.
When your head gets into the technical arena, it didn't end.
Oh, it ended on mine.
Nah. Whoa.
Yeah, it ended on mine. You're looking into it. So
Whoa,
we're live on the radio though. Any event?
Well, we are live on 93.5.
93.5.
Thank you so much, David O'Shaughnessy. Thank you, Don Stevens.
Everybody.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you so much, Bill. Have you ever seen Bill O'Shaughnessy's? Have you seen his hair?
I've only met the son.
Nah, he's got mad cool hair, man.
Yeah.
Like silver.
Anyway, Axl Rose. All right. Used to be really cool.
Yeah. It's still cool.
I don't know. He looks like now. What was that? What was that? The actor. No. That's Slash.
Yeah.
The actor in The Wrestler, Mickey Rourke.
Oh.
Okay, and he's all screwed up. Yeah, what's all the Botox?
So that's like all Botox all over.
Botox. He's all weird looking now. You know, I think Mickey Rourke used to be a lot cooler 25 years ago.
So are you saying Mickey?
He looks
are you saying he's using Botox?
I don't know. He looks a little bit. You know, and then
there was that movies about sex. What's the name of it?
9.5 Weeks. That was from 25
That's
years.
one of the best movies ever. That was dope. There you go.
As
9.5 weeks.
Right. And we're not saying dope is in marijuana. Dope is in cool.
Yeah.
We have to make that clear to somebody.
Yeah, let's make that very clear.
Yeah. But,
dope as in cool. All right.
But that was with Kim Basinger. That was her. That was when she was married to Alec Baldwin.
So beautiful.
That's when she was married to Alec Baldwin, right?
Yeah. Such a beautiful. Beautiful woman. Yeah.
You like beautiful women.
I love beautiful women.
You love beautiful women.
I can't help myself.
Do you like handsome men? No.
No.
Not really.
Why would I like it?
I'm just double checking.
My sons, they're handsome.
Yes,
like
okay,
them.
so you love them. That's about
my
it.
sons are very handsome.
That's about where you...
I've got 3 handsome men who are my sons.
Okay, that's about where you cut it off.
But that's where I cut it off.
Okay.
Right?
So anyway, Axl Rose, you know, he used to be a lot cooler. And, you know, when I saw the concert, you know, like I remember seeing him in college.
Right.
When I went to University of Michigan. I remember seeing them when they toured through Detroit. And I remember he was out on the stage. The guy was, you know, halfway through the concert, the guy's topless. You know, he's got tattoos all over his body. He's dancing around. You know, and he takes I can't dance, but, you know, he does like this, you know, thing. Guy stood there for 3 hours. He didn't dance, and every 10 minutes, more and more clothes kept going on him. I said, I've never been to a rock concert. I said, usually the rock performer,
it's the opposite.
It's most, you know, he's supposed to be ripping clothes off by the end. You know, the guy's, you know,
but more and more clothes went,
you know, almost naked. You know, he's supposed to be by the time the show's over. This guy keeps bringing more and more clothes on. You look like the Michelin tire man. You ever see that Michelin tire commercial? With, you know, like that, you know, the big, you know, the white dude. When he's like really fat, it looks like he has like a million pieces of clothes on him. I'm like this guy looks like the Michelin tire man, you know? But it was a good concert.
But anyway, once again, folks, this is the Brad and Squeeze Show, and we're here. We're saying call us right now. The number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Of course, it's been put together by a law firm, the law offices of Spar, Bernstein, and the LinkUp Media Group, hosted by yours truly, David Squeeze Annakie and Brad H. Bernstein, and we're ready to answer immigration questions.
All right, so let's go to the lines.
Let's go to the phone lines.
Wilbur,
are we back up yet?
No, I don't think so.
Wilbur, I have your guy.
Yeah, Wilbur.
All right, Wilbur.
Oh, by the way, we are on YouTube, though.
We are.
Yes, apparently.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, no
so if you want to watch on YouTube, you can.
Check it out.
At Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein.
I'll tell my people to tell their people that we're, you know.
All right, and maybe we should make a note of that on our Facebook page. Okay, Wilbert, what's up?
Okay, I was told that.
Wilbert.
Yes.
Wilbert, you have to shut the radio off in the background.
Okay. Yes, I was told that.
Wilbur.
Yeah, I shut it off.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, no problem. What's your question?
Can you open please? I'll call back.
Yeah, Wilbert, call the person back because you're on the radio here.
My question is okay, I am a green card holder.
Yeah.
Okay, if I get married, my wife, I get married, go to Jamaica and get married, how long would the process take for my wife to come home?
If you get married, about a year.
Yes.
About a year.
About a year?
Yes.
Okay. That means even if I go down and get married to her there.
It will take approximately 1 year from the time you marry to the time she comes here. Now, give or take 2 or 3 months, one way or the other.
Okay, so about a year and 3 months.
Yeah, it could be a year if you do it fast, but in that range.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so what if she stay? What if she come up? She has a visa. What if she come up and get married here? Can she stay here and
You cannot
adjust her
come
paper?
up to the United States. We say this every show, so I want you to listen very carefully.
Very carefully.
This is the law.
This is the law.
You cannot come to the United States.
You cannot come to the United States.
You cannot.
You cannot.
Cannot come to the United States with a visitor's visa. Visitor's visa.
Okay, with the
intention.
Yeah.
Right. Squeeze and I can finish each other's thoughts now. With the intention of getting married. And what the law says is that if you get married within the first 90 days, you had the intention of getting married.
And guess what?
Then you would be denied.
Yep.
Got it?
Okay.
So in other words, no one should come to the United States
with the intention of getting married.
With the intention of getting married.
Number one. That's rule number one.
That's rule number one.
And rule number two is no matter what your intention was, if you get married within the first 90 days, you had the intention of getting married.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your true intention was.
So, but people do come here and they stay past 90 days, and after 90 days,
then they get married, they change their mind.
They change their mind. They're like, you know what, I want to stay here. I fell in love.
That's cool.
So read over the line, between the line, around the line, understand
Just read right through that line. Right through it. Read right through it. And do what you need to do. How's that for now?
Okay.
You got us, Wilbur?
He's got him. You're in Denver, Colorado?
The best thing is, I'm in Colorado, So the best thing is, go down, get married, and start fighting from there.
Yeah. You know what I heard about in Colorado?
What did you hear?
Because and tell me if this is true, Wilbert, because this is my friend came back from Colorado like a month ago. He said the first time he was in Denver since they legalized marijuana.
That's where BioLife Warehouse is.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. I wonder what they're putting in there now. And no, my friend came back, and he said the strangest thing was when he was in Denver, he thought everybody was high. In other words, like the waitress in the restaurant, the lady in the bookstore, he went and bought a magazine for the plane to read. He goes, maybe it was my imagination, but he says everybody looked to me like they were high. So Wilbert, question for you: true or not true? You don't know.
That's not okay.
I'm serious. It can't be true.
It can be true because it is legal here. Right. Everybody can smoke it.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
On the street, anywhere, you can just smoke it.
Right. So it is true then that a lot of people are high in Denver. I mean, not high in altitude, but high. Yeah, where they're high in altitude also.
Wilbur, let me guess. The crime rate is very low in Colorado, right?
It is very low. There's pretty much no crime here.
Yeah. I wonder if Donald Trump would look at those statistics, right?
The crime rate has dropped significantly.
Has it? Is that true?
That's what I
never saw. Is that true, Wilbert? Do you have concrete evidence of that?
Yeah, there's almost no crime here.
No crime. Wilbert says it.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
And everybody's high. Because they're so high, they can't think about committing crimes. They're just all chill.
Hey man,
I can't be bothered with it. Yeah, pass whatever you're smoking.
All right, but Wilbert, on a serious note though, Brad can help you regardless of where you are in the world.
I was just curious because my friend just told me that the other day, so I was curious. And you're the first person I've talked to who lives in Colorado since I heard that.
Right.
I've never been.
Okay, all right. Can you do you have a straight line because
yeah, it's 1-800.
I'm gonna start the process shortly.
I'll tell you what, you can even hold. I'll tell you what.
Can I do it through you?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Hold the line.
Yeah, okay. Squeeze is going to tell you how to do it, but hold the line 1 second.
No, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you to hold the line, and then Brad and his attorneys can tell you how to do it.
Correct.
All right? Correct. So hold the line. The number once again, folks, for this full-service law firm in Manhattan at 225 Broadway, handling, of course, federal cases. Immigration happens to be federal, so they can handle that. And, of course, even in the criminal defense department with federal cases. The number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAWLINK, 1-800-529-5465. This is the Brad and Squeeze Show. I don't even know how all of this happened, but here I am in a freaking green room.
You're not in a green room. You're in a beautiful mahogany,
whatever. You know, this is such a wonderful. As a matter of fact, I would love to say, why don't we go to the beach? Next thing we're on the beach. Why don't we go to Dubai?
Now you're copying me.
Yes, of course.
All right. So this is what we've learned so far on the Brad and Squeeze Show. We've learned don't get married within your first 90 days. Mm-hmm. Everybody's high in Colorado, and Squeeze is sitting in a green room, and that makes it look like it's
one
mahogany.
More important thing.
What?
That we need to get live on Facebook.
Yes, and that we are not live on Facebook right now. All right, Gary in Hartford, Connecticut. Gary.
Thank you for calling 1-800-LAWLINK, Brad and Squeeze Show. What's your question?
Hello.
Gary.
Yes, I have a question. If you got arrested and the case was nully, can you apply for your citizenship?
Yes, because you're not a deportable alien. If it was a nully, means it wasn't prosecuted. But you also still have to prove good moral character. So in other words, if for example, if you got arrested last year and you have to prove 5 years good moral character, depending on the circumstances of the arrest, they may say you don't have good moral character to become a citizen. So that arrest will always come into play.
Okay.
So those are two different questions. One question is, can I apply? You can always apply for your citizenship, but the second question really is, will I become a citizen? And most likely, yes, because you're allowed to have a bad day, but it does come into play. It does affect your citizenship. Hold on one second, all right? And we can help him. By the way, we are opening up an office in Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to go too far.
Yeah.
Marina did a fantastic job on the citizenship questions yesterday. One particularly good answer was, there are 27 amendments. They're all really important. You should know them. Doesn't happen often.
He said, my guys are on point, man. They just shared the YouTube link.
That's smart.
Yeah, very smart.
That Eaton boy, he is a smart dude.
Yes, he is. Eaton is not eating.
Eaton is not eating.
Eaton is not playing either.
He's petrified of you. That's why.
Nobody's ever petrified of me.
Everyone's scared.
Look at me. Look, moi?
Yes, everyone is scared of Squeeze. Squeeze walks down the hallway. It's like Napoleon's walking down the hallway.
Nobody listens to Squeeze.
Everybody listens to you, trust me.
Anyway, let's get to another call. Once again, the number is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAWLINK. If you call, I promise you will get through. We got quite a few lines already locked, but I have a few more that I can open up for you. So call the Brad and Squeeze Show. Brad, you want to take a question?
Hello? Yes, we're on with Kevin.
Yeah, hello?
How are you, Kevin?
What's up, Kev?
I'm all right. I have a question, but I also have two complaints.
You have a question plus what?
Well, I'm a regular listener of that show.
Right.
And I made an appointment to come in to see you.
Uh-huh.
And when the first call, I had a call at 3 o'clock to see you, Brad, which is they told me the price is $150.
Are you calling to complain that you didn't speak to me? Is that what you're calling
Well,
about?
no. Well, listen, what happened, I'm going to tell you my question, but I'm saying what happened. Then they told me I couldn't speak to you. I had to speak to one of the attendants.
Kevin.
We're burning up precious airtime.
We have time here. I can't hear your complaints. Do you have a question? I'm happy to help you with at this moment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I came in to see you on an appointment. I couldn't.
Hold on 1 second. All right. I don't know what he wants from me. We have to answer immigration questions here.
He's just peeved because I guess
I'm sorry that I wasn't available to see you the moment that you wanted to see me.
Everybody wants to see
you? All right. This is Ha?
Hello!
Ha? Who am I speaking with? Oh, Samantha. Samantha from Belleville, New Jersey. How are you?
Hey, Sam. How you doing? Samantha. There's gremlins everywhere today, man.
Samantha. All right.
All right, let's move to another line right now.
Neville.
Hey, Neville. All right, the number once again here is 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. All right,
let's try Samantha one more time. I'm told Samantha's there now. Samantha.
Sam.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon, guys.
How are you, Samantha?
Hey, good afternoon, Sam.
I'm great. How are you? You guys are doing a great job.
Keep it up.
That makes us feel so good.
I have a question. If you are married to a green card holder, how long can you take in order to file for your working permit? I filed my I-130 petition, but I was just wondering, is it possible for me to file for my working permit?
If you are filing for a green card petition as, who's sponsoring you?
My husband. He's my husband.
And he's a lawful resident?
Yes, he's a resident.
You cannot get a work permit because you're not eligible to adjust being married to a lawful resident unless you're in legal status, and that still would be a year and a half down. You get your work permit not from the filing of the I-130. You get your work permit from the filing of the I-485, which you have to become eligible to do. That's where you get the work permit from.
Okay, and when would my eligibility do?
Well, are you in status or out of status?
I'm out of status.
And how long has your husband been a resident?
Well, I think he just filed to do his citizenship.
So the day he becomes a citizen, the day you become eligible to adjust your status.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So once again, folks, the number here, 1-800-529-5465. Do you think anyone is listening to us?
Yes, we have a few people listening to us on YouTube.
A few.
Facebook, yes. Facebook came down, all right, crashing down. Crashing. Don't know why.
I don't know. They're looking at me.
Next time we have to be ready to do our show on time, maybe. It's the second time
Remember
today.
what I said to you when the show started?
Yeah, second time today.
No, we should have that instrumental.
Yes,
That's ours.
That's right.
No, but listen,
second
please.
time today. We should have our own instrumental ready to go, and when we have these issues. But to have the issues twice in one day. Stop, everybody now!
Nobody listens to Squeeze.
Stop! Everybody stop right now, because even though we are not on Facebook, even though we are on YouTube, and we had to play some music because we were not ready to go, the stars were ready.
The stars were ready.
Not everybody else.
My equipment was working too.
Yes. So we played music apparently, and then Facebook, because of copyright infringement, took us down.
But what did David Annakie say about that in the beginning of the show? That we should play our own music. Remember?
Correct.
Yeah. Because nobody listens to Squeeze.
Correct.
I said, don't play anyone else's stuff. Play our TIHS.
I don't have it here, though. It's not here. Right? We should. We have our own music.
You know, the production room should have the ability to play the music.
They should.
Yes.
Nobody listens to Squeeze.
Nobody.
Right, you know, then we're going to have the guy come across. Nobody listens to Squeeze.
Exactly.
Right? If I could stand up and do it, I would do it right now, but all the wires would become ripping off of me. But I want to like have somebody run across, no one listens to Squeeze, and then off. Like a little
Can we
cartoon
take one
guy.
more call before we get to that hard stop?
Yeah, we're going to get to a hard stop in 2 minutes.
Let's take some more calls.
Sylvie's calling from the Czech Republic.
Oh, wow.
Sylvie from the Czech Republic, how are you?
Sylvie, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Brad.
How are you? All the way from Czech Republic?
Yes, all the way from Czech Republic.
All right, what are you calling for?
How do you know Brad?
Okay, I'm calling. I came 2001 to U.S. on J1 as an au pair.
Okay.
And I overstayed.
Right.
I left 2008 back to Europe.
Uh-huh.
Then I traveled back to U.S. 2009.
On what type of visa?
I had B2.
Okay. Did they let you in, or they turned you back?
I actually I had a cruise planned, so I did come in on the cruise, and on the way back from Caribbean, they gave me B2.
Okay.
I'm sorry, those are my kids.
It's okay.
Then I actually came back. Yeah, I came back to Chicago, and I had 2 kids.
Born in America?
Yes, they were born in America.
Okay.
And I came back to Europe this year. I just want to know, is there any chance I can get any paperwork done for me?
Well, where's the father of these children?
He is a Mexican citizen, and he's still in U.S.
Why did you leave the United States?
I had a situation with my father. I needed to come back.
Okay. All right, well, this is the deal, unfortunately for you.
What's the deal?
Okay. The overstaying on the J1 for 6 or 7 years, which she did, does not give you unlawful presence. That's why you were allowed back in to go on the cruise and get the tourist visa and come. Right. Now, your last entry was on the tourist visa, and then you overstayed on the tourist visa. When you overstay on the tourist visa and you overstay for more than a year, you're triggering a 10-year bar because you have now been unlawfully present for more than a year. So when you left last year, you have a 10-year bar to return, The only way you can get a waiver for that is to be married to a citizen or a resident, or have a parent who is a citizen or resident. Otherwise, there's no waiver for a green card. Now, I don't believe that's why I asked who's the father. He's a Mexican. He's also out of status. I don't know if you're in a relationship with anybody else, or maybe you were and you weren't with the Mexican. That I don't know. Sounds like at least certainly your father's back in the Czech Republic. I don't know where your mom is. So in terms of getting a green card, not looking promising unless, you're in love with an American and, you have a valid bona fide relationship with him. He wants to go to the Czech Republic and marry you and do waivers. Now, maybe we can do non-immigrant waiver for you. There are non-immigrant waivers. I'm not sure what you may or may not be qualified for in terms of a temporary work visa, but I think you're going to have a hard time getting a temporary visa to begin with because you gave birth in the United States to 2 U.S. citizen kids. So I think you got a lot to overcome. I don't have the answer for you, but hold on one second if you want to have a consultation with us, okay?
All right.
All right. So now we're coming to the hard stop. This is the time when everything comes to a stop, Squeeze. We need like screeching noise. If we can get screeching noise in the future, like what I would love for this hard stop.
We should get an effects
machine. Right, an effects machine, yeah. And we get like a hard stop, it goes, like a big crash. Okay?
It's like when your credit crashes.
Right, when your credit crashes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't get anything.
You can't get anywhere.
Can't move.
Right, because we have to come to
a dent.
At the 30 mark, we have to come to a huge halt.
I mean, it's not like we can't do it forever now.
Halt.
I mean,
You ever see those old movies where the cop goes, halt!
Halt!
Who goes there?
Yeah.
You know who goes there? USA Credit is going there. They're going there to help you with your credit. They're going there to make your credit better.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Get rid of those late payments.
They don't halt it. They make it better.
Get rid of those collections.
Just the show comes to a halt. That's
Get
basically
rid of those
it.
tax liens.
Whatever they do.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what they do as long as your credit goes up because it's not, it's not how you feel, it's how you look. And you look bad. You look bad with bad credit.
Yep.
Right? It's one of those things, credit is like vain. It's like all vanity. Okay? It's what you look on the outside.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with you on the inside. And if your credit's below 700, you look bad. Your credit's above 700, you look beautiful. Yeah. That's basically it, Squeeze, in a nutshell. True. We have to come to a halt at the 30 mark every day to tell everybody if your credit's below 700, you look bad. If your credit's above 700, you look beautiful. If your credit is below 700, you should call USA Credit Repair at 1-800-872-7177. They will talk to you absolutely for free in the beginning. It's going to eventually cost you money, but they're going to pull your credit report. They're going to tell you what's on there that's good and what's on there that is ugly. And then they're going to start looking at the ugly stuff, and, they work on your vanity.
So like Scott, man. Go on.
They work on your vanity. And they're going to get rid of the ugly stuff and keep the pretty stuff. And in 90 days, they give you a money-back guarantee that if they do not get your credit up within 90 days, you will get your money back like that. They'll throw it right back at you. Look, they're going to throw it right back at you. Boom. You see this? 90 days, I will have to give you back your money because Squeeze can't do it. Watch, it goes like that. They throw it right back at you. So call them right now, 1-800-872-7177, 1-800-872-7177. Right now, USA Credit Repair are proud sponsors. They were not proud. They were not proud yesterday. I will tell you that.
Oh,
they were
really?
They were unhappy, angry sponsors from the South Pole.
It's like having a girlfriend.
They
right?
were angry sponsors from the South Pole, and I said, I only want to deal with the USA Credit people who come from the North Pole. Those are the happy USA Credit people. The angry USA Credit people are from the South Pole. And so I had a whole bunch of South Pole guys in yesterday, and I said, get out of my office and get the hell back to the South Pole.
Exactly.
I want to deal with the USA Credit Repair people from the North Pole.
Yep.
And they're all happy, so they're back now. 1-800-872-7177, 1-800-872-7177. And by the way, what I want to tell everybody now, in all seriousness, do call them, okay?
Yeah,
they are not in the South Pole and the North Pole.
Right.
They are right here in New York City, and they will help you with your credit, 1-800-872-7177. But I do want to say, Squeeze, we, now that we're done with the U.S., unless you have something else to say about USA Credit.
All I have to say is 1-800-USA-7177.
That's all you got to
now.
say.
Everybody with bad credit, call
That's
that
all you
right
got
now.
to say.
That's it. I mean, as a matter of fact, everyone who is, I can't say watching, but everyone who is listening right now, if you call, I am going to allow
We're aware.
Yeah. See how many people watching?
Yeah.
So I just want to say, call right now, and we'll give you a free credit repair for the next 30 days.
All right. So now what we're going to do is this. All right.
Are we going to do rapid fire today?
Yeah, we are going to. Right now, I want to show we did something which is really important that everybody needs to know. Is there's a big difference, Squeeze, and we talked about. You just learned this now. Okay, and we had Paul Hirsch come and join us, and we taped this the other day.
Our criminal defense
attorney, about Fourth Amendment rights and about what your rights are within 100 miles from the border, and what your rights are beyond 100 miles of the border.
Very important.
And this is really important to watch or listen if you are on WVIP, and maybe on Facebook you'll watch later if we get a chance to rerun this. But it is very important. It is very important to know what your rights are within 100, and by the way, people would be surprised to know what's within 100 miles of the border. We're going to watch this. Let's see.
Okay, welcome again to the Brad and Squeeze Show. My name is David Squeeze Annakie, and I'm here with two good attorneys from the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. Of course, obviously, Brad Bernstein, and we've got Paul Hirsch, and today we're here to speak about the 100-mile border law. And we're going to be expounding a little bit more on that.
By the way, Squeeze, do you know 200 million people live within 100 miles of the border? That's land and sea.
That's like 2/3
going
of
around the entire United States. And if you are found within 100 miles of the border and you entered the United States without inspection, and you are now found within, and you can't prove you have been here for at least 2 years, it is automatic expedited removal. You don't have a right to see a judge. You have very limited constitutional rights, and short of filing something called the Convention Against Torture, that your life is in danger if you're going to return home, you're going to get deported, and your family may not even hear from you until you're in another country.
That's interesting.
I have Paul Hirsch here because he's a criminal defense attorney. He's well aware of Fourth Amendment rights. This is a Fourth Amendment issue, Squeeze.
But can we break this down? Because a lot of people are hearing the legal jargons and within the border. So you're simply saying if someone crosses the border without being inspected by the government, if let's say someone that they call an illegal resident or someone who doesn't have a green card, someone who is not a citizen, you're saying they cross the border and they get caught within 100 miles of the border, they could automatically just be kicked back out of the country.
Well, a U.S. citizen has the protections of the Fourth Amendment. And anywhere in the United States, the police need probable cause to stop you, search you, ask you questions if they believe that there's a crime about or you were involved in some illegal activity. Here, within a 100-mile border, and what we're talking about here is that the federal government, the federal authorities, have a right to stop you and ask you for your papers to see whether you're a U.S. citizen. The protections of the Fourth Amendment have gone out the window. There basically is no Fourth Amendment protections when it comes to federal authorities within 100 miles.
As long as they are treating everybody equally.
Correct. That's
the key thing.
Correct.
They don't have a right to stop you beyond 100 miles of the border, but if they're treating everybody equally, they're stopping white people, black people, yellow people, green people, purple people, and people of all religions equally at a border stop or at a border checkpoint or at a checkpoint anywhere on a highway, then really you don't have a lot of Fourth Amendment rights. But if they're individually picking people out based on the color of their skin or what they look like, that's when the Fourth Amendment comes in. That's when it's an illegal search and seizure.
Right. And sometimes they'll even have a plan where they'll stop every 7th person, every 10th person. That has to be decided before it begins. There's usually a set plan in action. They'll set up a checkpoint, and they'll say every 3rd, every 5th, every 10th car is stopped and questioned.
And then you would have
to demonstrate
that they actually did what they said they were going to do.
Exactly. You could be here for a year and go visit a state or a city that's near the border, be approached by federal authorities, and be thrown out of the country.
So it's not just about crossing the border. It can be someone who's actually already living here for years.
As long as they don't have any sort of entry stamp. If you have an entry stamp, you came here on a visa, it's a different story. Let me just tell you the history of all of this so we know how we got to where we are today.
Right.
There is no constitution The Constitution only exists for people who live in the United States. So at the border, when you come into the airport at the border, you don't have a right to see a lawyer. You don't have a right to see a lawyer when you're at the border in Canada or in Mexico because you haven't made a legal entry into the United States. And the law has evolved over time to, some people would run across the border. And while the Border Patrol was in hot pursuit of people running across the border, the law said, you know what, they really didn't really make an entry. They're trying to evade detection. Come fast forward to the Obama era. Obama said, it's not only now no longer hot pursuit, but if you're caught within 100 miles of the border, within 14 days of you being in the United States, and you can't prove you've been here for more than 14 days, you are considered as if you're trying to evade detection and somebody's in hot pursuit of you. Fast forward to Donald Trump, that orange guy in the White House. He changed that rule from 14 days to 2 years. Wow. That the government basically he's saying is that they've been in hot pursuit of you for the last 2 years. Okay, so if you're caught within 100 miles of the border, and we're gonna put up, what that border looks like. But if you're caught within 100 miles of the border within 2 years of your entry, without a visa, it's expedited removal. Look at what we're looking at here. That is the entire ring of the United States. It includes cities like San Diego, El Paso. It includes entire states like Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, Vermont. They lie almost entirely within this area. 9 of the largest U.S. metropolitan cities, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Antonio, San Diego, and San Jose also lie within all of these areas. Now, there are 170 checkpoints by Border Patrol throughout these areas. And you have more limited rights within these areas than without these areas. Let's talk about those limited rights, Paul. Okay. So if you're caught within 100 miles of a border, the U.S. Border Patrol is allowed to stop people. Okay. What kind of defenses would you have if they set up a checkpoint and they're stopping everybody? There's not really much of a, because they're not really making any distinction between any one individual.
And by the way, folks, if you're just joining us, Paul Hirsch is a criminal defense attorney at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. Yes, Paul.
Yeah, but now let's say they don't stop at checkpoint, because we get these calls all the time on the Brad and Squeeze show. ICE is on the subway. ICE is on Jamaica Avenue. ICE is in Los Angeles. ICE is walking the streets. Do they have a right to just stop you, even though you're with, they have to have some reasonable suspicion, I would presume, right? And maybe you want to expand on this, and I think that before they stop you, because how would they know if, they would have to know something that either you're here illegally or that you've been here for less than 2 years.
Yeah, and unfortunately it comes down to probably what you look like. And that's why it becomes very discriminatory. If the color of your skin makes a federal authority believe that, they want to check your papers, then that's what they're going to use. And clearly that's not enough on a state level or constitutional level.
So let me ask you a question. Let's say you're in New York City. Okay, you are somebody who's out of status or somebody who's concerned about Immigration and Border Patrol. Obviously you come to a checkpoint, you're in trouble. You can't be like the Three Stooges and go run, So you can try. You can try, but you're not going to get too far. Okay, but just if you're walking down the street, what kind of things should people be thinking about?
Well, you should be thinking about, making sure you have identification on you. You should be thinking about making sure you have an attorney that, you're comfortable with and someone can reach out on your behalf. Whether they give you that opportunity or not, that's a different story.
Do you have a right to remain silent?
You certainly, yes.
You do have a right to remain silent.
You have a right to remain silent.
Do you have to provide them with your passwords to email or other social media for them to check whether or not you have something on social media that would indicate you are out of status because you're remaining silent.
No, you don't have to give them your passwords. You don't have to give them that stuff. They'll take your electronic devices. They may try to get in it. They may try to convince you that, oh, let me just take a look and I'll let you go kind of idea. But no, you do not have to give them.
And they always have the right to lie too, right?
Yes, they not forget about the federal authorities, the regular state authorities as well. They're allowed to lie, cheat, make up falsehoods to get you to say or do something that they want you to do.
Right. You know, a lot of this is going to come down to discrimination.
Right.
You know, why would somebody pick, for example, Squeeze over me? Okay,
I'm black.
We're both U.S. citizens.
Yes.
I'm black.
Okay, but if Squeeze and I are walking down the street, who are they going to? Who is Border Patrol going to stop first?
Let me repeat myself. I'm black.
Correct. Right. Or maybe if you were Hispanic.
Yes.
Okay. And if that is the only reason, is the color of your skin or what you were wearing that makes you look like a foreigner, okay? You're going to
look like a Muslim.
That's discrimination.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have laws against discrimination even in these situations. Okay, and so there's a big difference between being stopped at a checkpoint when everybody is stopped and they are asking Brad Bernstein for ID, they're asking David Squeeze Annakie for ID, they're asking Paul Hirsch for ID, versus just literally walking down the street and say, hey, you look like you got dark skin, show me identification. And even if Squeeze were to show identification, and let's assume he's an illegal alien, which I know for a fact he's not because
I'll tell you this,
citizen.
if I'm walking down the street and they attempt to stop me and ask me, I'd simply say, no, and I'd keep walking.
That's what I would do as well.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
But they have something called habeas corpus, Squeeze.
And expound on
Okay, habeas corpus, and it's Latin for bring the prisoner forward. So as an attorney, if you know because you don't have rights. Okay, you don't have.
Who doesn't have rights?
You don't have rights within 100 miles.
If you're not a U.S. citizen or a resident.
Correct, and you're caught within 2 years. But you also have rights against unlawful stops, unlawful searches, even within this 100 miles of a border. And if the only thing that the Border Patrol can point to is your dark skin or your clothes, and that's what caused you to stop this person, that to me would be an illegal stop, and I think that would be unconstitutional.
Yes, and I think that was the big case out in Arizona when they had the sheriff, Arapo, who was found guilty of illegal discriminatory practices, and President Trump just pardoned him. So,
well, that's pretty sad there.
Yeah, let's slip something in here that's very important. The phone number, ladies and gentlemen, for the law offices of Spar Bernstein happens to be 1-800-529-5465. We're going to throw it up right there on your screen shortly. The number is 1-800-529-5465. If you'd like a whole lot more on what Brad and Paul Hirsch is speaking about, you can simply call that number 1-800-529-5465. Very important number. That is the number for the law office of Spar Bernstein here inside of New York City at 225 Broadway. Back to you.
Go ahead, Paul.
And I would think that's probably one of the smartest things you can do now. If you're here illegally, you're working on maybe your papers, and have an attorney that you've already consulted with. Have their number. Have your family know that you've consulted with that attorney. Have them have that number for you, so that should they get wind that you've been picked up by the authorities, at least someone can reach out to your attorney, and maybe there can be something done to help protect you.
You know, Paul, discrimination is something that we keep fighting with here at Spar and Bernstein, that lots of attorneys, lots of people are fighting. You should always have a good attorney saved in your phone. Probably the best way to protect yourself and the best way to protect your family is have a good attorney saved in your phone, especially if you're living within 100 miles of a border, especially if you don't have a visa entry, because you're not going to be able to prove you were here for 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, unless you have work records or school records or hospital records. They're going to throw you out of the country.
Absolutely.
Unless you have a good attorney who's going to do something to protect your rights.
Right, and whatever rights you have, however limited they are, you alone are not going to be able to do anything about it. You're going to need an attorney.
Absolutely. And that's the reason why it's extremely important for you to dial a number. You know, I'd like to see you dial it, let it ring for about 10-15 seconds. This way we know you're truly saving the number. The number is 1-800-529-5465. 5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. That's the number for the law offices of Spar Bernstein, and we all need to have that number stored in our phone. And as Paul Hirsch noted earlier,
for your own safety.
Give it to your family. Yeah. Give it to your family members.
Do it for your own safety.
Give it to your friends, and give it to your foes. All right.
All right. Thank you, Squeeze.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, and we'll go.
Thank you, the Brad and Squeeze show fans. Brad Bernstein, myself, discussing that border, 100 miles within.
That is.
Very interesting information.
It is very
interesting information. I'm
people
glad.
need to know this information, Squeeze.
Absolutely. Now, listen, let's get back to answering some immigration questions. Once again, folks, we do apologize for those people who are now tuning into 93.5 because we've had some issues on Facebook, but we're rectifying that. The number to call is 1-800-529-5465. Let's get to some calls at 1-800-529-5465. Thanks to 93.5.
Stacy's calling from Canada.
Stacy from Canada. Hello, Stacy.
Hey.
Hello.
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 Stacy's
Good
calling
afternoon.
from Canada.
How you
I
doing?
didn't have my microphone on. Hello.
Hello.
Or as they say in Canada,
Hello.
hey.
Hey,
They
Stacy.
say, hey.
Hi.
Hey. Is that what they say in Canada? Hey.
You've been waiting on the line. You've been waiting on the line, eh?
Eh?
Yeah, for long.
Where in Canada are you?
Mississauga.
Mississauga, Canada. One of my favorite places. I have no idea where that is.
Are you a Canadian citizen?
Where is Mississauga, Canada?
Are you a Canadian citizen?
No, I'm a resident.
Where's Mississauga? My mic is on.
Yeah, it is. No,
It's close to Brampton.
My mic is on now.
Okay.
Yes, my mic is now on. Do you hear me, Stacy?
Yes, I hear you loud
Okay.
and clear.
Did you hear me before?
No.
No.
Yes,
You did.
I could.
You could.
See?
Very
Well,
late.
my
Now my
microphone.
mic. I was going through your
No,
microphone.
I don't want you talking to my mic.
I am not.
Okay, what's
All
your
right,
question for
so
Brad?
all right, what's your question? You didn't tell me where Mississauga, Canada is, by the way.
Mississauga, close to Brampton. What could I say? I don't know.
Close to Brompton. Of
And
course,
Brad's
another
gonna
one of my favorite places in Canada. I don't know where that is either. All right, so what's your question, Stacy?
Okay, my question is, right, I would like to know. If I was living in the U.S. before, right?
Right.
I had 2 kids there before. Mm-hmm. So I had a visa, and the visa was revoked from me. Like, I went to Jamaica coming back because I overstayed my time, and they took away the visa. Then I came back, and I had my kids, and then I leave.
How'd you
like
come?
5 years ago.
Whoa. We skipped over a part. They took away your visa, and then her next sentence was, and I came back. How did you come back if they took away your visa?
On someone's papers.
Aha! Did they catch you?
No.
No. And then you became a permanent resident of Canada.
Yeah, I did.
All right. So you've overstayed your time. You've had your visa taken away. You have entered America with a fraudulent document and then eventually got residence in Canada. Just because you're a resident of Canada doesn't give you any special dispensation that you now can overcome all these problems that you've had with America. You need waivers and all sorts of issues. You have all sorts of issues.
Okay, because that's what I want to know. Because now my daughter is 21.
Yeah, but you can't get a waiver through your daughter.
Oh.
You need to get a waiver only through a spouse or a parent.
Oh, so my daughter can't sponsor me?
She can, but if you don't have a parent or a spouse, you're not getting a green card because you need a waiver.
Oh. Okay, that's the question I wanted to know.
About that.
You want to?
At no time at all.
You need a waiver through a parent or a spouse. Without a parent who's legal here or a spouse that's legal here, unless Donald Trump changes the law in your favor, which I would strongly doubt.
Right.
No time in the future are you going to get a green card.
Right. But I think she should actually see if there are any other options. You know.
I just said the option, but she can have a consultation with me anyway. Hold on. All right. That's what it is.
Once again, folks, this is the Brad and Squeeze
It was a much
show.
happier conversation when I didn't know where Mississauga, Canada was.
Mississauga,
Canada. Somebody from Brooklyn is on the line.
Let's go to Brooklyn. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800.
Yes, Brad.
Neville, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up,
All
Neville?
right. My question is, can I marry my fiancée, go back home, and then come back and put the paperwork in up here?
Can he marry his fiancee?
Go back home.
And then come back
up here and put the papers in here.
Not based on what you just told me, because you would be coming with the intention of getting a green card. That's against the law.
All right. Okay.
All right, now if you hear more than 90 days and you get married, file your papers here because you obviously have changed your mind. Then get an advance parole and travel back and forth on the
more
advance
than
parole.
90 days.
So then what you do is get married now, file your adjustment, apply for advance parole, and travel on the advance parole.
So we'd have to stay till the advance parole come through.
Which is another 90 days.
Yep.
It's better than going
All
home.
right.
It's better than going home and waiting a year and a half for a green card. It's better than going home and coming back and having a problem and getting deported. So given those three choices, do what I just told you. Hold on.
Hold on 1 second. Once again, folks, the number here is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. Do remember there's a criminal defense department. Do remember there's a personal injury department. So especially construction accidents, you definitely need Spar and Bernstein, in my opinion. Do remember that there's a tax department. Do remember there's a family law department. And one number. Just dial this number, let it ring for about 10-15 seconds, store the number in your smart device, aka mobile phone. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to one more call.
All right, Anna.
Hi.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, guys. Listen, I listen to your show all the time, even
Thank
though
you.
you keep saying that no one's listening, no one's calling, but I don't know how many times I can call. But the information you guys give are the best.
We're only kidding.
We're just kidding.
We have literally tens of thousands of people watching and listening.
Yeah, no. I am very interested in your show.
Thank
it's
you.
like one of the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, what's up?
I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Like you were just talking about, the 100-mile rule from the border.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact is that, okay, so you said I can't travel to Connecticut, I can't travel to Pennsylvania. I mean, how do you find out where these checkpoints are?
You don't know where the checkpoints are, and the 100-mile rule applies to everybody, but you only have to be, you obviously have to be concerned if you're out of status, but you have to be extraordinarily concerned if you don't have a legal entry and you can't prove you've been here for more than 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, what do I need to carry to prove that I've been here for like 20 years?
How did you come to the United States?
Right, on F1.
Okay, so you don't need to carry anything. They have evidence that you made a legal entry into America. They have to give you, even if they catch you, they have to give you a deportation hearing. What we're saying is...
I didn't get that. Sorry?
And let's say you are out of status. Let's say you're out of status. I don't know if you are or not. Let's hypothetically say Anna's out of status.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If Anna is entered the country without inspection and is caught within 100 miles of a border, which is both land and sea, within the first 2 years of your entry without inspection, that's expedited removal. You don't get a chance to see a judge and fight it out whether you should be able to stay or not. If you are,
are you saying that they will have a record of my entry?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you have a if you have a legal entry, or you have been here for more than 2 years, or you are caught beyond 100 miles of the border, you get to see a judge and fight it out. That's the law.
Right. So I have legal rights if I get...
You have legal rights, yeah.
So they will give me a lawyer?
No. You have to have me as
I'll have to call a lawyer.
You have to call a lawyer. You don't get...
Brad.
In immigration, you don't you don't have the right to a free legal aid attorney in immigration like you do in a criminal case.
Right. Okay. Right. So, but I'm kind of worried because I had a DS, duration of stay.
All right. So hold on 1 second because we're running out of time, and I think that you're going to require a consultation because we're not going to solve all your problems. You've been here for 20 years, and we got to get you.
Are you also, one last question? Are you able to get me my ID renewal?
I don't know. Let me see. You got to come in and what ID are you talking about? Your passport? I mean, a green card, a work permit? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, ID renewal, my identification.
I don't know what identification, but we're going to run out of time, so I got
New York State.
All right, so hold on.
Hold on
1 second. No, once again, folks, we want to say thank you so much for joining us here on the Brad and Squeeze Show on 93.5 and, of course, all these social media platforms. And, of course, we're here to help you. We're going to make this very legal. And once again, thanks to the entire team from producing this wonderful show. And, again, you.
All right, we're out of here.
The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing? Ay, ay, ay.